Natalie Portman.
Hey.
I can respect that.
Okay, so you all set up with your intro and all that again?
Yep, and thankfully no technical difficulty this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Begin in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another commentary as part of BluedragonFive month, which is the entire month of July. We're going to be doing some Toy Story stuff. So, we're going to be doing some Pixar stuff, and we've got another big surprise that I've told BluedragonFive about. So we'll be doing that movie sometime soon as well. I'm not going to give that away yet. But BluedragonFive, you really love this film, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah. This is your favorite Pixar film, am I right?
It is.
Or, yeah, I would say this is probably the one I have my most emotional investment in. So I'm going to hand this over to you now because I know you've got quite a bit to say. This is actually our second try at doing this because we had some technical difficulties last time. So I'll hand it over to you. So get started.
Well, before that, what was your first introduction to the film?
Actually, it was on VHS. Yeah, I know. That's how long ago it was. I pretty sure I think by that time I was living with my dad, I think. Because when did this come out? 95, 96?
95.
Okay, so that could have been 96 by the time it came out on VHS, because, yeah, it wasn't as quick of a turnaround as it used to be. But I think it was back then, so I probably saw it with after him or while I was living with him. So, and I was a fan of the idea because I'd seen it done before, toys being alive and doing stuff, because I saw this show called Johnson and Friends, which did a similar thing, which is actually an Australian show, but they did it with guys in suits. There was a guy that was like a truck. There was one that was a big pink elephant. So he's a gay Republican. And there was like an accordion thing and a few other things, but yeah, there was like a big thing, because they would pretend to be. They'd have all these adventures that were like 20 minutes long. So that was my exposure to the idea. So I'd already seen it done, and it was done well on that. So I was. But they did it a little bit differently here. They had a much bigger cast to go around. So, and the story is really great. So I can't wait to talk about it. As I'm sure you are the same.
Yes. My first introduction was literally ever since I was born. They play this film on VHS tape. And I just watch it over and over again as a kid. I see Toy Story 2 in theaters, and I go back to the VHS tape, and I have a better understanding of it, and really resonated with me. It's just this very creative idea that can appeal to both children and adults, but it's just such... It doesn't have edge to it. It's fun for everyone. It's just really, really enjoyable. A lot of good jokes, a lot of good comedy. It still holds up to this day. Again, just really it's that one unspoiled spot on cinema that we can all go back to and just feel like a kid again, or feel like a kid today. So that's that piece of nostalgia. It's my favorite Pixar film of all of them. If gun to my head, I'm instantly going to say this one's my favorite. They're all great, but this one, even more than Toy Story 3. I have such nostalgic connections to this film. I mean, it's always going to be my favorite, no matter what. And my second favorite is probably going to be Up. Then Toy Story 3.
Yeah, well, Pixar are pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
This, and
they're a class A.
Anyway,
before we commence with the film, I had a little bit of history to get across. I'm going to do it as fast as I can, folks, because I can go on for this for many seminars if I had to.
Yeah, you should probably do a whole video on this at some stage.
Maybe one day. But just to keep it to the bullet points, I'm going to try to go by this without going on for an hour. Okay. Essentially, Ed Catmull, he develops computer animation. Computer animation, in the meantime, John Lasseter, he's seen Tron at this point, which is just using computer animation for effects work, and he's trying to harness it into the animation field while he's working at Disney. He and Glenn Keane, a very good really great directing animator, they put together a short for Where the Wild Things Are. The short with the kid in the pajamas who goes to the Isle of Monsters. It's basically they're using computer-generated backgrounds and they're using 2D animated characters. And then they bring it to Ed Hansen, they show off because they want to do The Brave Little Toaster, which is a very important film in the Pixar history, but that's maybe something for another time. Anyway, so they do John Lasseter wants to do Brave Little Toaster. He does some animation tests. He pitches it to Ed Hansen. And he says, Ed Hansen asks, well, how much would it cost us? John Lasseter says, well, no more than the regular animation budget. The only reason we do computer animation if it's faster or cheaper. He walked out there 5 minutes later, calls John Lasseter into his office, and he fires him. John Lasseter, they didn't know what to do with John Lasseter. He's really creative, but at that time in the studio, it just wasn't time for creativity, oddly enough. 84 to 94 was a very, very wild time for the Disney studio. It's when Jeffrey Katzenberg was there, and there was a whole storm of competing heads of the studio after Walt Disney passed away in the 60s. There's a whole documentary about that, Waking Sleeping Beauty, folks. Watch that and you'll have the whole story for that. But getting back, so John Lasseter meets Ed Catmull. They compare ideas. Ed Catmull is working at Lucasfilm with developing the computer software. Brings John Lasseter there. They make some of the first computer animated short films. And the first one was Andre and Wally B, and they would take it to these SIGGRAPH conferences, like the software company, kind of sell the technology, which would eventually be used for medical imaging software, and the Pixar computer, which is what they would sell to make money at the time. But so they do those short films, and later on they do one of their most famous ones, Luxo Jr., which is the lamp, that's the Luxo lamp that hops on the eye in the Pixar logo. That's what really did. That was really the era of bringing inanimate objects to life, which would play into Toy Story. Because we had Red's Dream, and then the next one would be Tin Toy.
Which came out in 88.
Yes. Yeah. See, unfortunately, George Lucas, when he had Lucasfilm, he said himself, he's not making a software company. He's not making a company where they sell software, so he had to drop them. Unfortunately, it doesn't make him a bad guy. He's a filmmaker. He's not a salesman or the company head. Well, later on he would become that. But anyway, so Steve Jobs steps in, saves the day. He invests in Pixar. They sell the image computers, as said previously. Then they're making short films. However, the downside is for 5 years they've been losing $1 million $1 million a year, which means they're losing money. So they start selling more computers and for medical imaging software. Then they're bringing in other Cal Arts graduates, Cal Arts being the animation studio that breeds some of these great animators, including some other famous faces like Tim Burton and Brad Bird, who will play in the Pixar later on in his career. But, okay, so they make some short films, and they also do commercials now, like Listerine commercials. Like computer animated Listerine bottles doing stuff, and he's saying, oh, hey, look, and double mint gum and juicy fruit. That sort of stuff. Okay, so Disney, after seeing the popularity of these shorts, Disney's tried to hire John Lasseter back. In the meantime, they've created systems like the CAP system, which is the ink and paint system for Beauty and the Beast. It basically allows you to do the animation on computer, the ink and paint process on computer instead of cells. So they did Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, etc., etc. with the cap system, and that's why Disney took interest in Pixar, and they kept trying to hire him back, but they said, okay, we'll go to you guys. You guys can do the animation, the whole film at your studio. Just, involve us in the name, Okay, so they come up with a pitch for like a 30-minute Tin Toy special. Tinny the Tin Toy, a little thing the baby's chasing in the short. Basically, it's a little 30-minute Christmas special that air on ABC. However, Peter Schneider has this great idea. He says, well, if you can do 30 minutes, you can do 90 minutes. So they offer him a full-length feature, which is unheard of. This would be like the Snow White of animation, because Snow White was the first animated full-length feature. This would be the first computer-animated full-length feature. I mean, you had the reboot show, the reboot series, but this is going to be a historic moment if it's done right. Okay, however, Disney, this is a big gamble. They know that. So they have, again, Jeffrey Katzenberg at the time. He's giving them notes. I can get in a whole rant about Katzenberg, but I'm not. He wants to basically make Toy Story really edgy, really adult. The edgiest without going too adult. He wants to make Shrek uncut, basically. Like, imagine if like Shrek was like the Sopranos, basically. So he wants to make a really edgy film. He's giving them notes, saying, more edge, more adult. Keep it funny for everyone. Keep it funny for the adults primarily, so we don't lose them. Anyway, so they're following these studio notes, and they are the big four at Pixar. John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, writer, and Pete Docter and Joe Ranft. Joe Ranft being the story guy who helps out. He formerly worked at Disney. He was brought into Pixar because he was friends with John Lasseter. They go there. There's this pitch. It's been deemed Black Friday because it was god awful. Yeah,
I've seen a little clip of this while I was waiting for you. I was just watching the Black Friday thing. Oh god.
I know, that's the one clip you can never see of it, and you can tell why. And I'm not complaining, it's the one clip we see. It's infamous. Like Roy E. Disney at one of the other studios, he's like watching the VHS tapes, he's fast forwarding. Oh my god, this never ends. Randy Newman, while scoring the film, he's saying to them, well, that's a train wreck. It's just, it's the worst thing. The characters are unlikable, particularly Woody. Woody is the most unlikable character, which basically destroys the film, because he's our main character. He's our protagonist from the beginning. It's destroying him. Peter Schneider and Tom Schumacher, they're talking to each other and saying, well, what happened? What happened to this film? He says, well, they're following the studio notes. Anyway, so Disney, they're panicking. They want to move the Pixar guys to Disney. It's around Christmas time. They want to lay people off, move them closer, again, around the holidays. Madness ensues. John Lasseter takes the biggest gamble in animation history. They take 2 weeks. They rewrite the whole thing. They bring on writers to help punch up the dialogue, like Joss Whedon, who we know is a good writer and director.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did this little film called The Avengers.
Yeah, and Serenity, which I just because quick thing, I just rented out Serenity from QuickFlix. Go into my email, and guess what? It's free to stream now, of course.
Oh, that's nice. They've also Dr. Horrible.
Right after I return it.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, so John Lasseter, he and the big four, Joe Ranft, Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, and himself, take 2 weeks. They rewrite the thing, bring on these new writers. They do the film their way, make a film that they enjoy themselves. They're going to Toys R Us. They're doing research for the film. They're having a ball rewriting this film, making it good. They come back, it's all right. And then they keep working on it. It's great. And the end result is a $362 million worldwide gross of this film, this wonderful film called Toy Story. It won the Special Achievement Oscar. It was so good in that year. They couldn't win animated feature because after this film, they started making the category, because it was that good. I mean, that's just a testament to how influential this film was. All the big heads in animation had this joyous jealousy about them, saying, "Oh, I love this film. It's just I'm jealous because I wish I was a part of it." And they strive for them, the whole animation industry, to strive to be that Toy Story quality. This film is very impactful. It's 1995. It's the product of 1995. 91 was in production for 5 years. The John Lasseter directed film. Pixar Animation Studios, Toy Story. Ready when you are, Magpie.
All right, people. So get your things past the Disney DVD logo that crops up, and after you press play, of course. And get it to timestamp 0 and press play now.
Now, this film originally started with a Buzz Lightyear cartoon that was going to be cel animated.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that last time. It was a great idea, probably a good idea, but I think it's better if Buzz is a bit more of a surprise. So
yeah, they're building up for the big reveal of our Buzz Lightyear character, which is nice, and it actually does resurface in Toy Story 2, which we'll get to.
His little lamp.
Yeah, oh, there's Luxo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that SIGGRAPH conference, the big question wasn't about the technology thing. Is the lamp a mother or a father?
I actually remember saying that, I think, somewhere.
The other opening for this was you were going to have the big reveal of toys being alive, and Woody was going to save a thing from falling on Andy, and Andy would be none the wiser. It's going to be like a Western face-off, kind of like what we have here now. It's a kid's version of a Western, which is wonderfully done. Look at all the detail in this shot. Just Potato Head, he's holding a little green gun. He has the duct tape holding his hand to the gun. It's just really, all this little detail is just funny. It's very rewatchable, all the little details and stuff you find rewatching this film.
Yeah.
There's our hero, who was formerly a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah, really?
Yes, he was a ventriloquist dummy, and he was, had a buddy adventure with the Tin Toy, who was Buzz. And Bud Luckey, the fifth animator hired by Pixar, he's an old-fashioned guy. He wanted to make Woody. He said, "Why don't we make Woody a cowboy? Like the new space age versus the old west." And that's how Woody became a cowboy. And some people forget that Molly is in the same room as Andy. So
yeah. So he must be it gives me the idea that maybe he is a bit more responsible kid than what your normal kid is.
Yeah. I think Andy's 7 here, isn't he?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's 8 or no, probably 8. 8 at the most.
Yeah, there's an actual age, but I mean, sometimes it changes. It ages with the film because he's 17 in Toy Story 3, that's definite, so it's up in the air about the age.
Yeah.
But there's Bill Reeves, he was big in the technical department. So yeah, this montage, done by wonderful Randy Newman song, You Got a Friend in Me.
Yeah. What
it does is establishes visually the friendship between these two and the connection between these two, which is well done. It's better than the kind of songs that they would work into the Disney films. It just works better as montage, just music playing over it.
Mm. And that was a big thing. I remember watching a documentary on this, and they were saying they didn't want the toys to sing the songs. They wanted Randy Newman to do it.
A lot of people forget Randy Newman's also a really great composer. You can tell, you can hear it in the background of this film. And there's the big 4 right there, the original story by. I always rewatching this film. I just noticed that it's like Woody gathering intel in this scene while he's inanimate, which I thought was really, really interesting.
Mm.
Well, that's Laurie Metcalf from Sheldon's mom for The Big Bang Theory and Roseanne's sister from Roseanne.
Oh, okay.
It's Andy's mom.
Oh, okay.
There's our producers, Bonnie Arnold and Ralph Guggenheim. Guggenheim actually has some... Guggenheim and Bonnie Arnold, they have some residents in the animation field still to this day. Bonnie Arnold's working on How to Train Your Dragon.
Hmm. Tell me when Woody wakes up.
Woody's waking up now.
Okay. Because I was already getting ahead of you.
This is a great opening line. It's a big question. What's our main character going to say? Can't be too edgy, can't be too soft or cute either. He says, "Oh, my string, the party's today." It follows up that scene we had earlier, him gathering the information, so it's still moving the plot forward. Every frame in this film moves the plot forward.
Mm.
Oh, and there's something I'm noticing for the first time. Potato Head has an eyebrow piece. That's a mistake. Yeah, he has... Not a mistake, just something I'm noticing. He has an eyebrow piece.
Mm.
That doesn't make much sense with the toy. I've never really considered it. Usually the eyebrows are moved in. See, the they're part of the eye, but now there's the floating piece of the eye right now. Speaking of which, we have an ensemble cast here. We got Potato Head, played by the great Don Rickles. Slinky Dog, played by the late and great Jim Varney, who's about to surface. Arlie Army as, the Army Man, based on his Full Metal Jacket character. And, of course, John Ratzenberg, who's the Pixar good luck charm. He's in every single Pixar film. I like the established friendship between Woody and Slinky. Like, they're old-timers, and they've just been pals, and they've been playing checkers all this time. It's just this nice little thing between the two. Also, Woody is based, design-wise and toy-wise, he's based off John Lasseter's favorite toy growing up, a Casper doll with a pull string. And the Etch-a-Sketch is awesome. Yeah. And John Lasseter loves conceit, like the Etch-a-Sketch can draw better than anyone. That's why he can do, like, the draw! And the great Wally Shawn as Rex. And look how Woody just kind of plays off. I was close to being serious. He's not being an unlikable character, because if that happened, we wouldn't have Black Friday Toy Story, which we don't want.
Oh, no. I only saw a little clip of it in the documentary that's on my DVD, because it said Black Friday. I was looking at it last time we were trying to record this, and it said Black Friday thing, and I was like, oh, it's on the DVD. Like, oh.
Woody's girlfriend...
I saw only like a little section of him talking to Slink, and I was like, oh, God, it's already...
Yep. We just... Bo Peep was just in frame. She originally was a Barbie, but they couldn't get the rights to Barbie in this film, but they got them for 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that little visual gag. I'm only a few blocks away. Again, these gags and puns that work really well throughout the film, and it's really rewatchable. You pick up on all this stuff again. It just takes me back. Oh, and here's something. Behind Woody right now are these books. Now, there's an Easter egg here. They're all short film titles. Like, a lot of them are short film titles, and actually one of them says Lasseter right under Tin Toy, so for John Lasseter, see? See, Tin Toy...
Operation and the Mousetrap that actually I had.
Yeah?
The version I had. They've since redesigned the logo, but I like that one better.
And here's this, again... One of the things I love about this film, I'm going to say a lot, is that I love the illogical logic in this film. It's a term the creators deemed, and I just love it. It's kind of, it would make sense for a toy to do this. So yeah, it's like an office space here when the kid's gone. They're going over what to do, and yeah, this whole meeting for corrosion, plastic corrosion, or what you do when you lose pieces. It's just, it's comedy gold, but it makes sense. It's good writing. And Wreck-It Ralph has adapted this recently in film. It's just, I'm glad to see it resurfacing because I love this concept so much. And here is one of the best gags of the film. Ted kissing his butt. And Mr. Spell laughing at it. And again, it's just kind of, this theme even resonates in the third Toy Story. It says, we're here for Andy when he needs us. Every Christmas he's kept us around. See, no one's getting replaced. That's just very, very resonant with it. It's very resonant about these toys, these commercial items. They do care about the kid, and their purpose is to be played with.
Yeah,
and that's what they want. That's all they want, and they're there for the kid to induce happiness. Toys create happiness. It's just a pure thing. How can you not like these characters? I mean,
yeah.
Here's the eye gags. Josh Whedon came up with all the potato head eye gags. There's a...
I'm betting he had a potato head.
Oh, yeah. Now, there's this funny thing. The animators always like... Some animators like the toys in the big world shot, and that's like this outside POV shot, like the toys with the blinds. They like... Sometimes, like, when you see the toys being animated, like, they're just big and, like, they're the size of you and I, just talking to each other in this big world. Some animators also like the other flip side of that, just these little toys in the big world. Just you see tiny, like the scale of it all shifts occasionally. It's like animators like to play with in Toy Story films, especially comes into play with 2 and 3. But kind of with the Army Man sequence now, we get that.
Yeah, I like Army Man, the Army Man, because I actually had Army Man.
I did not have growing up.
Really?
Yep, I had all the other ones. I had like the red firemen, I had the blue cowboys, and the yellow Indians.
and of course, being a guy, I had a lot of
I wanted the ornament, though.
Matchbox cars. I had a lot of Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars growing up.
I had a few Hot Wheels. I like the ones they're doing now. I wasn't crazy about the ones back then. They're always too tiny.
The ones I had all looked like actual real cars. They weren't. They weren't like they are. The Hot Wheels weren't like they are now, which is like all these flashy designs. Really weird.
Okay, so by the way, this is the first sequence animated for the film, and Pete Docter, who's an animator as well as a story consultant, well, writer, and later on become a director. He animated this scene. He would attach these tenor shoes to a board to simulate the way the Army Men walk. He would videotape that and study it when he was animating them. Pete Docter also animated the Luxo lamp in the opening.
Now, was play... It's different. I don't know. Wait, is the play school the same play school stuff that they have now?
What do you mean by that?
Because it's spelled play SKOLL.
I'm pretty sure it's the same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at all the detail in these guys, like the molded areas of the plastic, like the rings on top of their head. It's like real for an art, and they have to live with that. And there's kind of a theme of the film right there. You don't leave a good soldier behind. You don't never leave a good man. You never leave a man behind.
Yeah, that's something that's definitely a soldier would say.
Yeah, which is something kind of plays into Buzz and Woody's relationship in the film. Even the gun barrels are bent and the bayonets are bent a little. And there's the Luxo ball. That's in mostly. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna say if it's not in every film, it's in most of the Pixar films.
Okay. I'm waiting now for you to get up to the point where Mrs. Potato Head.
I'll let you know. And again, just see how in control Woody is. He's calming everyone down. He's listening. That's the wrong end of the baby monitor, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Potato Head, right here.
Okay.
I can dream, can't I?
Yeah, I love that.
Again, it's just this. It's like this tense situation. Woody's just playing it cool.
I've gotten the impression that the mother has gone and told all his friends that, don't get him a Buzz Lightyear because I'm getting him that. Get him everything else Buzz Lightyear related.
Later on, we get sheets and stuff.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. She must have had. Well, it must have been kind of like a wedding. It's a registry for the wedding,
Yeah. Well, that's always a good idea. If you're getting something for a kid, you make sure you're not getting anything that anyone else can afford. By the way, I did see some of the things that these people, the merchandising behind this. Someone had an actual Woody doll and an actual Buzz Lightyear. I swear to God that they were twice the scale they're supposed to be in this movie.
Yeah, I have those. I have all the Toy Story stuff, Magpie. And, we saw Buzz Lightyear. I like how they're really teasing Buzz Lightyear's relationship. They really built Buzz Lightyear's intro to the film. They're really building it up. And, of course, there's all this chaos around here. We passed the bit where we find out Mr. Potato Head's Catholic. He's crossing himself with, he's an Irish Catholic spud. You get it?
Yeah.
That's funny. I like all this chaos, entering the room. He's warning him once they get the batteries in, because they know how toys work. Get in positions now! Okay, everybody. Again, Woody taking control of the situation. Everybody, get into your places. Does anyone feel my ear? My ear? Have you seen my ear? Potato Head. Losing this piece it's always a laugh.
I like this strong He-Man guy that just gets slammed into the slam.
Yeah, his name's Rocky.
Yeah.
Voiced by Jack Angel.
Oh, he does say some stuff, does he?
Very little. It's usually grunts and stuff okay. And again, originally there was going to be a nightmare sequence, which does appear in Toy Story 2, for Woody dreaming like Annie liking Buzz better than him. But this scene right here, when Woody just gets knocked off the bed, it's visually all you need. So, you get the sense Buzz is kind of taking Woody's place. And this is, again, the visual storytelling in this is still strong as ever today.
Yeah.
Again, I like how Woody's playing off cool, because Woody, again, if this was the Black Friday Toy Story, he would have just been like, okay, let me get up there and get this guy. He's like, okay, listen, it's a misunderstanding. I'm going to go up there, we're going to give him a nice big old Andy's Room look. positive. You know, Rex is like that conscious in the room saying, he's the panic in the room just saying, well, you've been replaced? What about us? Again, we're just establishing that Woody is such a likable character. And again, if he's doing some stuff later on that might be considered unlikable, but the reason is we don't hold that against him. There's the great shot for Buzz Lightyear's entrance. The poster shot. It's like a Western shot. It's like the shot between the legs. And there's the Darth Vader POV shot with the sound effects.
My ship will take this weeks to repair.
This is great. And Tim Allen, he brought so much to this role. Why don't they answer? My ship! He's playing it very Shatner-esque here. I love the box is so cool in its design.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear mission log. Stardate 40. That's great. This is the meeting between the two giants of the film here, and the idea with Buzz here, it's not really stated in the film. It was one of the many ideas for Toy Story 3 is that when the Buzz Lightyear toys were designed, there was a default in them.
Yeah.
So that's why he thinks he's a toy. There's like a default in the Buzz Lightyear toys.
That they think they don't realize that they're actually toys.
Yeah. It's like there's probably something in the circuitry which actually causes that. But in Toy Story 3, one of the original pitches was Buzz Lightyear's going to be recalled, and that was the reason he was going to be recalled. Circuitry would be the reason, but the actual reason because they come to life. He doesn't know that he's a toy. So yeah, that's in case Captain Logan was wondering. And there's the callback Crystallic Fusion, which is nice, and it comes back in the Buzz Lightyear cartoon, which is kind of the cartoon Annie's watching, even though like a few things don't match up, like how Buzz know about the aliens and not know them in the film. More on that later. Again, Woody sees the meeting, saying, yes, it's a mistake, and Buzz being completely in his own world right now. But a few things on Buzz Lightyear. I have the opportunity here. His colors are based off John Lasseter and his wife's favorite color, lime green being Lasseter's color, and his wife's color being purple. Buzz Lightyear, actually, originally his names were Lunar Larry, then Tempest from Morph, and his colors were white and red. And then the last one, Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
And I love I love this bit right here. He's reading off the exact phrase from the box, and Woody's just noticing this. Again, setting up Woody's like, he's the smartest guy in this room, but he's noticing, look, you're a toy. You're not a space ranger. And both people...
A little light bulb blinks.
More gadgets on than a Swiss Army knife. Be careful, you don't want to be in the way when the laser goes off. How come you don't have a laser, Woody? It's not a laser. It's a little light bulb that blinks.
Yeah.
It's kind of the setup for the film. It's kind of like an underlying theme of you can do this or you can't do this. Kind of Buzz is like you can do anything because in his mind you can do anything. Woody's just being realistic. He's not being a bad guy. He's being realistic. And Buzz just isn't in that mindset yet in the film.
Can fly. I loved it in Home Improvement where it was like one of those segments at the end where he was playing with his little niece.
Oh yeah, I love that.
No, I'm Buzz Lightyear. No, I'm Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I love when Tim Allen plays with the Buzz Lightyears. It pokes fun that he is Buzz Lightyear. Originally, they wanted the casting for Buzz and Woody. Also, I love this scene right here. This Buzz is about to prove that he can fly. The originally casting wise, just the studio idea was kind of go for like a Jim Carrey, Paul Newman dynamic, old Hollywood versus new Hollywood. And the real casting was that they always wanted Tom Hanks for the role. You can hear him in the Black Friday cuts. And because they have to do the voices before the voices, storyboard, then the animation. Again, this is great because Buzz just has his eyes closed, so he's not realizing that he's not flying. But in his mind, but the toy's just amazed he's doing this magnificent feat here. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And again, Woody's jealous, but he's not. We don't dislike him because he's jealous. We get the idea. This guy, he's the nice guy of the room.
Tell me when you get up to the montage again.
The montage is about to start. They're all clamoring around Buzz. I'm still Andy's favorite toy. Montage now. And yeah, this is a great montage song. Again, montage worked a lot better than the musical numbers in this film.
Yeah.
It was a very smart choice not to have him sing. Even Tom Hanks goes in the film, he's saying, "You're not going to make me sing, are you?" They don't until Toy Story 2. But, yeah, this is Randy Newman composes songs really well in this. And I think in the Pixar films he composes songs very well. Some people criticize that his songs are hit and miss. I'll agree with that, but I think all the songs in here are very much hits. And a lot of visual storytelling in this montage. Just the bed sheet. This is the visual image of the film. Just sums up everything. Woody is standing on Buzz's sheets after his sheets have been changed. It's just, he's been replaced. His worst fear is realized. And Buzz is kind of taking Woody's place. He's being like the hero of the room now. Andy's favorite toy, taking the position of chief in the room. Buzz playing hairdresser. It's funny. Oh, and this little workout thing right here. Mr. Spell's reading off how many calories he's burning, and Buzz checks his pulse. Again, the logical logic. Really funny. Even Spuddy Slinky.
I think it's kind of an interesting thing because Andy's making that transition from like the soft toys to action figures sort of thing. It's a stage that most kids go through.
Yeah. Well, actually, Woody's a hand-me-down from his father.
Yeah.
And again, this is a great ending to the sequence too. It's strange. I love the song. Strange things are happening. It's a catchy song. Also, just
you notice in all these movies we never actually see the dad.
No, it's because I believe the father is dead, but I mean, there's no proof that he's alive. I say he's dead. Oh, again,
or he's the child of divorce.
I don't think so. I think we would have had reference to it, but then again...
well, you don't really see that much, so it's either possibility. So
I think he would have come into play Toy Story 3 if he was still around. But the shark... Sure? I would think. But I say he's dead unless I have any proof otherwise. That's just what I say. Now, this Mr. Shark line, howdy, 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 I'm Woody. Ha, 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 give me that. That's my friend's favorite line from the film. Okay, now, again, the great counterpoint, just why Andy cares, just look under your boot, which is really in Toy Story 2, but he's just looking under his boot, just seeing Andy written on there. He's had Andy longer, why the end's backwards. But that's the only plot hole anyone would have with this film. It's just like, how would Buzz instantly know to go inanimate when the humans are around? I think it's explained in that scene where he's saying, "You're Chief Andy, inscribe his name on me." I assume he's kind of taking the Star Trek approach and, try to assimilate with the culture while you're studying them. So he's not to rise suspicion. That's the only excuse I can come up with. Either way, it's like a fault you easily forget because the story's so good. There's Ants in the Pants game behind him.
Ants in the Pants? Ants in the Pants!
This is an important scene right here. Again, it's just they're colliding, and now Woody realizes he thinks he's a toy, and he thinks he's a space ranger. This is great. The whole Doug Sweetland animated this, and it's just he didn't have time to animate Woody, so he just added him a little eye blink. That's all John Lasseter wanted because they were on the floor laughing and Woody not reacting. Here's like the Shatnerian reaction. The air isn't toxic. I think you're the actual... Oh, I thought it was an act. Again, it's just... Later on, what really bothers Woody is that he's being outclassed by this guy who doesn't even realize he's a toy. It's like, to him, it's like this idiot. He doesn't even realize he's a toy. Again, it's more frustration out of... He's not mad at the guy. He's mad at this guy not knowing. Yeah.
I love it.
And there's the Sid intro.
Yeah, I was never like Sid.
It's funny that Sid... Sid actually, when you really look at it, Sid's not a bad guy. He's just like a lot of kids when they were young. A lot of kids played rough with their toys. I think that's changed nowadays, but back then,
No,
maybe it's
I
not
didn't.
changed that much. So there are very few kids that play nice with their toys, or at least keep them in good enough
Well,
condition.
no, I don't think any kid actually goes out and puts straps of explosives to his toys.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because the people that worked on this film did that. Like Andrew Stanton and Joe Ranft, they would do like Andrew Stanton would like his son would tie his GI Joe to a tree in the rainstorm with his shirt off, with the toy shirt off, and he says, "Ben, why is your GI Joe strapped to the tree?" It's this boot camp. Andrew Stanton was so proud. That's just sort of. Again, they play rough, and Joe Ranft would like have a Tonka truck, and the ads would like drop like an elephant step on the Tonka, so they drop a cinder block from like the top of the house and see if the truck would hold up. Obviously, it didn't. So that's a commercial lied to us. And George Lucas himself would play rough with his toys. So maybe Sid grows up to be an animator, but really he grows up to be a garbage man. So, yeah.
Here we go. We're about to go off to Pizza Planet.
Yep. But, this is a great gag, virtual reality. And also, a thing with Sid just now, they couldn't blow up G.I. Joe because Mattel didn't want their favorite toy blown up, so they didn't give them the rights to it. They mentioned G.I. Joe in 3, though, so, yeah.
Tell me when Woody's playing with the 8-ball.
Okay. Yeah, in this scene...
don't count on it. It pops up.
Okay. Yeah, in this scene right here, this was basically the one scene of the Black Friday cut you did see. Originally, the toys were going to have a bet of, okay, now he's shaking the Magic 8-ball. Will Andy pick me? Don't count on it. Okay, here we go.
I love that.
Yep. Again, Woody's in a desperate place. He consults the Magic 8-ball like we all do, and you feel bad for Woody, don't you?
Mm.
Yeah, you feel bad for Woody being replaced. We liked him before Buzz came around, didn't we?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you kind of see he's jealous, and he won't admit it, and he's, like, in this very dark place. And he doesn't want to knock him out the window. He wants to knock him down
behind the desk. He just wants to get him behind the desk so Andy will take him to Pizza Planet because he can't find Buzz. That's the idea. And there was also an animation test of that for the... it was after the Black Friday cut. They had an animation of the Woody that looked more like a ventriloquist dummy, but still a cowboy. And a little Tempest from Morph Red Buzz Lightyear. And he got stuck behind the desk. In that version. But I'm sorry, I'm detracting. And there's some great Raiders of the Lost Ark cues here.
Yeah, the ball rolling in.
They use the sound effects from the film, too. From like the arrows shooting from the cave, and then the boulder. And there's a red Luxo lamp, and there's like the Wilhelm scream as Buzz falls out the window. Yeah. You feel bad for Woody because we like his character and we're saying, no, don't make this choice, Woody. And he's just in a bad place. He's a likable character who's in a bad place, which really saved the film. Because in this scene, Woody intentionally, in the Black Friday cut, he threw Buzz out the window. And he was like unapologetic about it. It's a toy world. But here he's saying, I didn't mean to knock him out the window. And Potato Head, he's kind of the antagonist. He's antagonistic against Woody, saying, yeah, you did it, you murderer. Yeah. I don't like confrontations, says Rex. Arlie Armory. To him, it's like poetry doing all these chew-outs for Woody. He's saying, where's your honor, dirtbag? Yeah. And this a lot of chaos in this scene, too. Just this pan-around shot when the Armen they're about to like jump on Woody like a sweater. Yeah.
I love that, the noose.
Yeah.
He meant it.
Again, it just kind of says to Woody, he can't return here without Buzz. Again, visually done, but later on he's going to lament in the car, which is one of my... I love that Woody pose when we get to it. Him lamenting. There's the A113 that's in every film. It's Andy's mom's car, license plate. See?
Oh, okay.
A113 is the classroom in CalArts where John Lasseter and his class was. And a lot of the animators still come from that. It's even in Iron Giant, the A113. Just anyone who's from that class, they would put that in their films. Even in The Simpsons.
Oh, really?
It's kind of a tradition. It's like if you went to that classroom, you would put it in your films. And this is one of the favorite lines from the creators of the film. We need more monkeys, and that was what they would use to hire animators. They would say that to each other. We need more monkeys.
Well, let me know when you get to Dinoco.
Dinoco.
You there?
The sign was turning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It has a nice 50s design to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was Ash Brand who animated that whole everyone jumping on Woody scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was he co-directs Toy Story 2, and was going to direct it for a while.
Buzz!
I'm triumphant. That's the Woody lamenting shot, by the way. Just him like looking at what am I going to do next. I always thought it was like a powerful thing. This kid like, oh man, Woody has to think way out of this situation. Again, Woody's not entirely. Again, he doesn't hate this. He's just really mad at this guy, right? And he's really mad and jealous of this guy, and he's really he's thinking selfishly at this point. It's like, okay, I'm saved, but you're okay. It's not like out of ill will. He's just saying, okay, he's thinking of himself first, which is understandable this one because he doesn't like this guy. It's just he doesn't hate him.
I made a mistake and now I've got to fix it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but yeah, this fight right here.
Yeah,
it's that illogical logic, like some toy gags, like Woody's head spin around 360 degrees and the squeaky noise, because they were afraid it was getting too violent, but the squeaky noise sells it.
Yeah.
Now, this was the original pitch for Toy Story, right here. This, the toys being left at a gas station and having to find their way home to the owner. It was going to be the tin toy who was later Buzz Lightyear because they wanted a toy everyone would die to have. And then the ventriloquist dummy. So basically, it was those two, they're trying to find their own. They end up in a preschool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, it's just just kind of that great lone shot. Just the thinking, whenever you lose a toy when you're a kid, you have to think about it from the toy's perspective. What am I going to do? I'm stuck here.
Mm.
This shot always terrified me when I was... Well, it didn't terrify me. It always scared me when I was a kid. Made me jump.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, like Woody almost gets run over. And here's a genuine complaint for the film, a genuine nitpick. Woody, who are you hiding from? I mean, come on, you almost got run over. I guess it's, the rationale is he's being overly cautious.
Yeah.
Which you see in the film, Buzz is like, he's calm, cool, and collected because he doesn't know he's a toy. And Woody's just overly cautious because he knows he is a toy.
Mm.
So I guess it's just Woody being overly cautious. But still, I mean, come on, Woody. No one's around. Move a little. Because he almost gets run over, and I was a shadow. Like, this much, and if it went any further, he would have been crushed.
Mm.
This is the Star Wars speech.
Yeah.
It's the exact plot from Star Wars, and it's hilarious.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, there is an actual story behind. It's in Dark Forces where you are the guy that gets the information to blow up the Death Star.
Yeah, he's basically
and that
R2-D2.
And that's never revealed in the movie. It's just like Princess Leia has the plan. So.
Yeah. Again, also.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah,
Pizza Planet.
Oh, did you see the Star Trek sign?
No.
Oh, he just...
Did the Live Long and Prosper thing?
Yeah, to live long and prosper. Yeah, of course, the great scene, you are a toy! And my favorite line from Buzz right after that, you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Then he does the live long and prosper, then he leaves. Yeah, which comes back in 2, but it's... So I always liked that. And that was the big scene. Actually, Bonnie R. wanted that to be the title of the film for a bit. The You Are a Toy. It's like, I think everyone remembers that from the film. The whole You Are a Toy. Because Woody, it's like, you are the craziest person I've ever met. I'm sick and tired of it. How can anyone... It's kind of him within the line saying, how can you be the favorite? You're so ignorant. You don't know your toy, and yet you're his favorite toy. It's not fair. It's kind of what he's saying with that line. Which I always thought was kind of... It's stuff to kind of think on, especially for kids.
There are no restraining harnesses in them.
That's kind of Buzz's PSA, which cracks me up. You know, safety first. Use the seat. And yeah, that's the Pizza Planet truck to save the day, and it's in every Pixar film also.
It is?
Yes. Technically not The Incredibles, but I don't know. It's up to interpretation for that one. But anyway. Also, Tia Crater, she does the renders, all the little details, and she has, like, John Lasseter made her this card that says, she has these cards that say, Tia Crater, Imperfectionist. She adds all the little details to the scene, like all the dirt to this Pizza Planet truck and all the dings and stuff. And throughout the whole film, it was a Shangri-La for Sid's room for her. But yeah. Lucky those pizza boxes were there to block Buzz from the driver. And they're the Cylons pizza guards. Actually, some of those humans are just painted on. If you look there, when the Cylons open, some of them are just paintings. So yeah. Yeah, this is great. Tom Hanks ad-libbed like crazy. Tom Hanks loves to ad-lib. And he he called the toolbox El Rojo when he was fighting it. I know it's past, but yeah. This image always cracks me up. Just when they're yelling at, when they're kind of yelling, watch where you're going. Sorry. When they're dressed as fast food.
That's a whole level in the game where you got to sneak around with that.
It is. It's funny. It looks cool. And originally, Pizza Planet was Pizza Putt. It didn't dawn on them to make the thing a space-themed restaurant for Buzz until later in the... It was always Pizza Putt before they had Buzz Lightyear. Then when they had him, they just kept it Pizza Putt until they realized, oh my God, how would we not use that? There's the Alien reference. The movie Alien with a little thing popping out of the chest. It's like whacking Alien. Yeah. The lighting here is really good. It's kind of arcade lighting.
Oh.
Yeah, please. Crane's ready to launch. And you feel like Woody's this close to getting back home, but it's not going to be that easy, or else the film would be over.
Whoa.
And I love this. Woody has a line like, this cannot be happening to me. It's just something I kind of say is like when things are working against me, this cannot be happening to me. Here's the landmark scene. The claw machine. Everyone loves this scene, and I do too. A stranger from the outside. All these aliens are Jeff Pigeon, by the way. Yeah, Jeff Pigeon, he's a good story guy, still working at Pixar to this day.
Oh, I love this scene too. The claw.
Yeah. Now that
decides who will stay and who will go.
Yep. Now, the Gary Trousdale, director of Beauty and the Beast, he came up with the claw gag. Oh, director of Beauty and the Beast. He came up with the gag when they all point up and say, the claw. Again, guys who are also deluded like Buzz, all in this elevator. Not elevator, crane game. All the aliens, much like Buzz Lightyear, are deluded, and this just makes it seem hilarious. Because, again, it's that illogical logic, Magpie. It's that, if you were stuck in the claw game and that was the only way you escape, you would worship that. You would worship the claw. And again, it's illogical logic at its finest. Oh, my friends, I go to a better place. Oh, boy, Sis, Buzz Lightyear, this is not good. Of course, this defies the laws of physics. The claw would never last. This is the most cooperative claw game ever.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't run out. It catches on the Buzz's helmet, and even when Woody's pulling back.
Yeah.
Get off of me, zealots.
We'd release him, and he would be like, "Ah, come on."
There's a smart joke in here. Yeah. Woody calls them zealots. Just think it's funny. Yep. Also, the aliens originally, when it was Pizza Putt, they were pizza slices with sunglasses. Yeah, when they went with the whole space thing, they made them these cute little three-eyed aliens. That's a great transition, by the way, just going into Sid's skull, because you know his house is evil.
Yeah.
And we're showing off Buzz's glow-in-the-dark ability, which is cool. Nirvana is coming. Would you be quiet, please? It's just a funny gag, and that you get the Sentis aliens from prowling onto them the whole time, thinking he's going to go to the perfect place, the Shangri-La, where he's just going to be, well, not eaten, but really chewed the heck out of. But a dog. Lee Unkrich does this to his dog. Well, no. Lee Unkrich has a friend who did this with his dog. He put the treat on his nose, then he would eat the treat. So that was a...
I do not believe that this boy has ever been to medical school. I love that.
Again, yeah, it's just... Yeah. Buzz's ignorance is hilarious. Again, Deluded Buzz is great, and I'm so glad they brought it back in each Toy Story film following this. Yeah. I love explosives. That just ties Sid up in a nutshell. With a bow on it. And the head removal of the dolls.
Mm.
Yeah, I've heard some people say they say something's wrong. Something might be wrong with the sister because she's playing with headless dolls later on. I see what they're saying. They say like maybe Sid's not the screwed up one because we see how he turns out later on. Maybe the sister is really screwed up.
It's because of Sid. So
I would say, yeah. I don't think so. I think it's a little unsettling. I'll give you that. When she says like Marie Antoinette and her sister. Because that's what Buzz says later on. I think it's just her playing with dolls that now he's ruined all the dolls. So that's all she has left. I'm looking at it optimistically, but she could turn out screwed up in the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
When I remember as a kid, I always thought this was a cool effect on Woody's pants right here. It's like the black light makes him glow in the dark. See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always like this neat effect. And this is Pete Docter animation here, like Woody holding the pencil and the flashlight. Buzz.
Those legs with like the fishing line thing, that's funny.
Yeah. There are many ways to animate Woody, and in this one, they changed the animation styles up late in the later films. But right here, Woody's like very gangly in the way he moves, especially when he runs. He has this like really weird run cycle. He's a rag doll basically, so it's kind of that ragdoll movement to him. And also here they add the Woody kind of has the sound effects of wood sometimes. It's really in some of the shorts that ABC after school special shorts that they would have for Toy Story. ABC would advertise Toy Story and they have all these little shorts and they give Woody wood sound effects. Like when he moved, it sounded like this, like kind of a xylophone wood effect. And of course, it's just a shot of it's like Scooby-Doo style, Woody like cowering to Buzz. Like Shaggy holding Scooby-Doo, I see this shot. He climbs on top of Buzz's helmet. They're cannibals. Mayday, mate, he's calling for help. It's so funny. Again, Woody knowing the situation, he's panicking, but Buzz, he's still deluded as heck. He's going this really calm, cool, and collected, being the action hero about it, even though he's still a toy.
Yeah.
And back at Andy's house, they know the cat's name. They know this neighborhood. The logical logic, they would know this. They would know this neighborhood. Of course, Andy's mom doesn't realize the flashlight.
I love this.
It's such a mom thing to say. Check the last place you left. It'll turn up.
Oh. I gotta wait until you get up to the bit with Sid interrogating Woody.
Not happening yet. It's really... You see, the last two people that believe in Woody, Slinky and Bo Peep, and this is a great transition here because they're literally just across the same house. Next door to each other, which is kind of convenient. Now we're... Okay, Sid's... Now, he just threw Woody.
Tell me when he's got the magnifying glass in his burning forehead.
All right. This is based off the interrogator from Raiders. Okay, now he's burning him. He's kind of based off the interrogator from Raiders of the Lost Ark here.
Friends now. Are you sure it's not from Star Wars?
It's also Star Wars. I mean both. Sorry, I meant both. Sid, your Pop-Tarts are right. All right. Now, that is a freaky image, and of course, it's a toy thing. A lot of people, when they do torture toys, they do burn the holes with the magnifying glasses. I actually have in my China closet like a little collector's thing they did with Toy Story, like Woody with the Cheerios over his eyes, with the Fruit Loops over his eyes, and Buzz with the bug from the earlier scene on his helmet. Also, originally the scene opened differently. It was a deleted scene. It was animated, in which you saw how they got to that position. Like Buzz is like the plungers all over him. Sid was like torturing him, putting him on like some sort of drill and like spinning him around, and Woody was like just slapping Woody around. So you saw how they got there. And this is my favorite gag just passed. It's the using Buzz's karate chop action to get through the mob of the mutant toys. Again, I'm sorry I keep bringing it up, but it's just true. It's that illogical logic at its finest again. One of my favorite uses of it. Just like, how are you doing that? This is use your karate chop. You're a toy. You're an actor. Use your karate chop action. My what? Back, you savages, back. And just the comparison, Buzz is all calm, cool, and collected. He's like, come on, doing the military signs. Come on, get across. He's crawling. And because he crawls, he alerts the dog. Because his lasso, which is kind of the thing keeping him down, he's kind of thinking, oh, why can't I be a cool toy like Buzz earlier on? He's like grabbing his pull string. Earlier in the film, after they're saying, well, why don't you have a voice box? Doesn't sound like it's ran over by a car, Woody. Again, that pull string does help him later on in the film. And then we do actually see Sid's father here. This is Sid's father. Very little glimpse we get of him. He's an arm and a leg. Yeah. This is a very funny scene right here. The Buzz Lightyear commercial. It was going to be 50s retro, but then they decided to go really. They looked at commercials in the 90s, and they're just assaultive. And they got one of the most assaultive voices they could think of. Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller. That's the guy who's doing this. They could hear him outside the recording studio. He was so loud. And that's Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter at the end here say, Buzz Lightyear! There it is, like clear as day, not a flying toy. It's like crushes Buzz's world. And there's the Al's Toy Barn, which will come into play for the sequel. This Point Richmond, by the way, they say Point Richmond Bowling Championship. That's where the first Toy Story was made. They didn't have the Pixar Animation Studio back then. It was made in Point Richmond, this really crappy building in Burbank. I'm sorry, not I'm thinking of something else. And in Point Richmond, California. So Magpie, what do you think of this sequence right here? The I will go sail no more.
It's really sad. This is like one of the saddest points of the movie. Like, you really feel what Buzz is feeling.
This film's got a really good pace to it. And it doesn't feel like we've been watching it for more than half an hour. We're already at this point in the film. Yeah, of course, that was the big crushing reality. It's Buzz in this scene. Again, visual storytelling coupled with this great montage music. Of Buzz trying to prove to himself, I am not a toy, I can fly. He's triumphant, he's looking up to infinity and beyond. It's kind of harkening back to the old Flash Gordon serials, with the whole Buzz Lightyear design, to infinity and beyond, that sort of. So Buck Rogers, not Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers. And it's just so sad when Buzz, he crashes and he loses his arm. Just in that scene, you see Buzz, the crushing reality, literally crushing reality of I am a toy. And visually, he's a toy because he lost an arm. He would know at that point he was a toy. He's a toy. It's like if I'm mortal, not a superhero, and I could get hurt. I'm a toy. Oh no! Oh my God! My life's a lie. My whole life's a lie. It's just the power of that sequence done in this montage. Well, not a montage, it's the sequence. And the sadistic Hannah finds him.
Yeah.
We see why she's sadistic. A few moments. I really hope that's not a bowling ball that falls on Woody. Otherwise, he'd be dead. By the way, Feel free to chime in with anything, Magpie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I get taken away sometimes with
This
certain
scene,
moments.
this scene is hilarious. The Buzz,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Marie Antoinette and
little sister, Nesbit. Buzz is they told Tim Allen to play this drunk. It's basically a veteran drunk on tea, and he's one-armed too, so it's even more of a veteran. This scene just cracks me up, and we get to see kind of Woody starting to be more crafty. You know, he's calling Hannah, he's being clever.
Yeah.
It's all
you sure
gone.
it's not Anne Boleyn?
It's not what?
Anne Boleyn. And she also lost her head.
Yep. Marie Antoinette. I think you've had enough tea for today. Do you see the hat? This bit. And they got this bit from Commando, by the way, a behind-the-scenes story from Commando. Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted to slap a guy with his own arm. He cut a guy's arm off and wanted, can I hit him with his own fist? That's a little dark, Arnold. From Commando. My life's a sham. He said, I was loving that moment before that. He says, before he breaks down, he says, I lost control of myself. You have to excuse me. I'm just, my life's a sham. So funny. And Buzz, even drunken in his tea-drunken state, he comes up with a great idea. And Woody kind of, they're starting to slowly work together at this point. Well, while those two are working together, we have these two working against each other, playing Battleship, and you can tell how bad a player Potato Head is. Look at all the spots. You know, like all the ships are grouped in the same spot. So he hits one of them, he hits all of them. He's hit everything but the ship, and he's losing his parts because they're playing strip Battleship. And again, it's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest Buzz Lightyear right now. He's just playing with the arm like a rocket ship. Drunk on tea and like delusional now, completely delusional. By the way, Tom Hanks in this scene is great. He really likes working with props. So John Lasseter did. He and his sons would put like an arm in the trunk of the car around Halloween. So they gave him that arm prop to work with, and he ad-libbed a lot of these lines right here. He's doing the recording.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, the Buzz's arm gag. Buzz, can you give me a hand here? It hasn't happened yet, but it's about to.
Yeah, I'll bet.
This always kind of depressed me as a kid. Like he ripped off the little sticker.
Yeah.
Didn't really. Just kind of all those little things kind of stick with me. I guess it might have been just the kind of kid I was. Just he's never gonna get that back again. He's lost that little sticker. But you know, you get over it, and you don't really see it in 2 and 3. They kind of do a nice thing with it. Yep. Why don't you? It cracks me up is that they buy it.
Oh,
nothing. Yep. Their new best friend handshake. Give me 5. We here.
I love it. Rex is throwing.
Oh, you're ahead of me again.
Throwing up.
Yeah. Again, a testament to how good. Oh, now Rex is Rex is now throwing up.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, tell me when they drop the
okay, I'll tell
Christmas lights.
Okay. Potato Head's just waving around. Oh, he dropped it. No, don't, please.
You don't have no idea how bad it is over here.
Yeah, they think he's killed Buzz Lightyear.
And cut him up.
Him too. Slink, please. Oh, it's just so sad when even Slinky's given up on him. His best pal, Slinky, and Bo Peep. Well, Bo Peep still has it, but she's still horrified. Oh. And now Buzz is the only thing he has left. You know, he's going to save Buzz. That's the only thing. He has really his friend at this point. They're going to get to that scene. But it's just still, it's kind of Woody slowly realizing kind of what we even have in Monsters University trying to recapture the magic of this film. This film's a buddy film. It's a buddy picture. You know, the two guys that become friends. They start out as rivals, then become friends. And this is these two slowly realizing they're destined to be friends in a way. The Old West and the Space Age. New Frontier. This is always kind of a nice this is like a smartly written thing right here. When you find out the mutant toys, they were trying to protect Woody and Buzz from meeting Sid. Like they try to stop them from going out the door because the dog was out there, and they took the bodies away so they could repair them. It's kind of realizing that moment, things aren't what they seem to be, which kind of reflects on Buzz and Woody's relationship. In that,
and they spent hours thinking up this rocket's name.
Yeah.
They were like, what do we call that?
Yep. The big one.
The big one?
Extremely dangerous. Yeah. Oh, by the way, when they were casting Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, originally they wanted Billy Crystal to be Buzz Lightyear. Then Bill Murray lost the number in Chevy Chase. Then they went to Tim Allen. But originally they wanted Billy Crystal, and when Tom Hanks, they did an old Disney animation trick in which they would kind of borrow the technique in which they would animate something and kind of match it to a scene from another movie. So they play a dialogue with like Turner and Hooch for Tom Hanks, like, "You're eating the car.
Don't eat the car!
You stupid dog!" Billy Crystal was a scene of the red Tempest from Morph Buzz Lightyear saying, "I was being nice." But it's that was how they got him for the role. I just wanted to mention that because I kind of forgot that. And,
did you see what the name of on the
Safeway?
On the toolbox is?
Yeah, it's Binford from Home Improvement, which is
Improvement. Yeah.
It's a really nice Easter egg there. And Home Improvement is what got Buzz Lightyear cast. Is what got Tim Allen cast. Again, they're so match made in heaven for the character. I just keep calling him Buzz. So what Tim Allen was known for at that time, and it was a Disney connected show, and that's why Katzenberg could get a hold of him for that role.
Yeah, that was but to me that's classic.
Yeah, it is.
It's Binford and Buzz Lightyear in the same shot. It's just like
Yeah, it's great. And this is again Laura Metcalf. She did a good job as Andy's mom, and she still sticks around for all three films. She brings like this nice. She brings kindness to the role. I think it's like really mom quality. To being the consoling mother, saying we'll find him, don't worry, before the move. Last page she looked, that sort of stuff. And again, Bo Peep hasn't given up on Woody. She's still worried about Woody, despite the horror show that was earlier.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, technically that's not the first computer anime use of water. They're using some animation cheats right here to have the water, the rain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not water; it's more like rain. It's easier to do rain without seeing it on people than it is just to do water, than just rain falling on people. So that's going to come back in another commentary. So I'll get to that later. Now this is the scene where they really bond and they kind of come around that we're friends now. I think Tim Allen is brilliant in this scene. They both are brilliant in this scene, especially Tim Allen. He just brings such a sadness to Buzz Lightyear because Buzz is, he's completely at his lowest point in the film. These two characters at their lowest points in the film. Yeah. Desperate times, saying, for what? For the first time I am thinking clearly. Well, you said I was a toy. Well, you're right. I'm not a space ranger. I'm just a stupid, insignificant toy. And you see the visual cue of that, just like he ripped the little label off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have Woody on the other side of this. He brings a good point to the argument. Saying, being a toy is the best thing. To that kid, you're the best thing that's happened to him. I mean, you're the one of the funnest things this kid knows about. You're a space ranger. You are Buzz Lightyear. You're cooler than me, even. He says that. It's Woody kind of feeding into his problem for the film. It's Woody's arc of kind of coming around and saying, Andy can have more than one favorite toy. He likes me as much as he likes Buzz. It's kind of coming around to that, and Buzz's arc is realizing he's a toy and being okay with that. Kind of going from the thing he set his life on and kind of coming to a whole crushing realization, but kind of getting over that realization. And there, the lamest pull-string line. There's a snake in my boot, which is funny. It's a bit of comedy in this really dramatic scene. And what's funny is, even Tim Allen's brought this up, some of the best acting in this scene is done even without the actor speaking. It's just this realization without any dialogue right here of Buzz Light right here. So you're looking at the boot. So he's Andy on the boot, and he kind of has that realization in the facial animation, which still for that time early just translates so well. I think. Would you agree, Magpie?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And forgive me if I'm just really overcome with nostalgia and emotion right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I am, and I'm just not saying anything. I wish I was saying more.
Yeah.
But, oh, yeah.
And the lights... Oh, go ahead.
The moving trucks just showed up. To me, animation just works so well. I just wish that people would give it some more...
credibility.
It's not just for kids sort of thing.
It's starting to get there.
Hmm.
There's the Eggman Movers is based off Ralph Eggleston, who worked on the film. And also there's some Dr. Catmull's root beer for Ed Catmull on the table. So it's right behind Woody right here as he's pushing off the desk. It says Dr. Catmull's root beer for Ed Catmull. Also, this is kind of an animation cheat. Buzz is 12 inches, so he shouldn't be able to push the thing completely off the desk. So he literally is pushing off thin air in that moment.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a fun animation cheat. What's even funnier is that doesn't wake Sid. The whole toolbox falling, but it's the alarm clock. Yeah. And also,
my question is, why does Sid need so many locks on his door?
I think it's because he's
paranoid.
I think it might be paranoid. Maybe I'm not sure. I thought it's kind of the conceit saying this place is evil. Well, that's what buy it there visually, but I mean, I guess it's.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of fitting with the overall design of the room, and kind of another. He can't set the locks, so it's not just to keep Woody and the gang out. So it can't just because of that reason. I don't know. It must be something. And the locks do come back in Toy Story 2, believe it or not. But I'll point that out then. So. And this is Woody again. Woody's come around now. He's gone full circle. Buzz is his friend now. He says, "Look, I need your help." He's begging the mutant toys to help him. So, I'm sorry I misjudged you. I really am. But come on, he's my friend. He's all I've got.
You feel sorry for Andy here. He's.
Yeah. Again, you're ahead.
Holding the hat, and he's holding the Buzz Lightyear box.
Yeah, pause for that, would you? I'm still haven't gotten there.
Okay.
I'm still in the...
Sid's just got Sid's setting up.
Yeah, the mutant toys are clamoring Woody. And again, Woody, I love how smart Woody is in this film. And again, you like this protagonist. He's kept interesting. Okay, now he's holding them both now. You can go. Now we're going through the window. Yeah. And Sid's setting up shop here.
You're with Ducky. I like Ducky.
Yeah, I love the mutant toy designs. Originally, they were a little too cute, so they had to kind of make them cooler.
Yeah.
I'm not saying cute isn't cool. I'm just saying they had to...
Ducky and Legs are my favorites.
Yeah. Again, I love Woody as a strategist here. He's making him a competent protagonist, and he's just really... in addition to him being likable, he's smart. So, I mean, even though he was kind of wimpy with Buzz earlier on, it was more him being overly cautious in toys. So they've kind of reversed roles halfway, in that Woody is now being more like Buzz, and Buzz is being a little more like Woody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of like Buzz is now realizing he's a toy, and he's using that to his advantage, and he's kind of... He's more knowledgeable on that now. Now Woody is kind of taking charge. He's more confident now, like Buzz. And this is Josh Whedon line right here. Wind the Frog.
I love that.
Also, they actually, because that line was so funny and they loved that line so much, they created a frog to actually wind the frog. They built a toy frog to wind in the studio. The power of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Now again, this whole plan, this whole sequence of the plan is just, it's neat. It's not too complicated. It's just a distraction for the dog, so they can get out of there. And originally, it wasn't Woody and Roller Bob. It was Woody, and out of Hannah's room came a Barbie in a pink Corvette, dressed for the prom, and it was going to be a Linda Hamilton. she was gonna be like Linda Hamilton from the original Terminator. You know, come with me if you want to live. And you know, Woody would have a line like, "I wish I was anatomically correct right now." So it would have been. I'm assuming that's a Joss Whedon line. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
And kind of a tough as nails female, so that also sounds kind of Whedonish. But anyway, that was originally what they were. But this is cooler, I think. Especially.
If you ever see Serenity, it's like, oh, come on, Joss.
I think it especially kind of plays into the ending here, so I'm glad they kept it this way. Well, then again, they couldn't get the rights to Barbie, so it was an impossibility. Still, the sets here. What do you think of the set here of the backyard?
I think the only thing that looks really odd is the tool shed.
Oh, this tool shed.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. And again, it's kind of
a little subtle thing, putting the match in there in its holster.
Again, you're ahead of me again. Hold on that, would you?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just the Australian time zone. Okay, now you pulled the match out, and you put it in the pocket. Okay, here's assuming that we have permission to launch. Talking in the matchbox, yeah. Now, my thing with the holster for Woody, this always kind of is a thought I had as a kid, still have the thought of it, is, why does Woody have a holster if he doesn't have a gun in the holster? I guess originally in some earlier designs and drafts, he had like a gun in the holster, but it kind of, you don't want to advertise guns in a kid's film. Plus, it'd probably get lost and stuff and wouldn't really serve any purpose. I mean, he has a holster because he's a cowboy. It's just kind of, I always kind of thought of that when I was playing with the toy myself as a kid, thinking, well, why does he have a holster? What does this thing hold other than a match? At least they utilized it, putting the match in there. So that was neat.
Yeah, my theory is that the dad or whoever had the toy originally lost the holster, and it's like.
No, sorry to poke holes in that, Magpie, but he has all his pieces, because Al in Toy Story 2 points that out. He has all his pieces, so there was no gun manufactured with the Woody figure. At least in that one, so.
Yeah.
Again. I don't know. Yeah, it's still.
Maybe it was a bonus thing that he needed later on, that he needed to buy.
I don't. Actually, that makes sense. That could be it. That might be it. Also, a little subtle thing. See with the baby head.
I love this. We see everything.
Yeah. Oh, you're ahead of me. They're surrounding him. Also, the thing with the baby face, the little claw baby thing.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, the alarm clock, now he's turning his head around. Okay, so play nice.
Yeah, tell me when he's come up to his sister.
He just ran into the thing. Now, we did it. Okay, now, Hannah's just ran into Hannah. The toys are alive. Nice. Again, that's nice. Hannah Sid gets a comeuppance.
Yeah.
Now, so the babyface, who was using Morse code, by the way, earlier in the film. So that was real, actual Morse code. You can tell, like, Sid's alarm clock has, like, some baby parts in it, like a baby's doll arm on it. I'm assuming that's the parts of the doll. So it's a little Easter egg for you out there. And this is great. Now they're friends. They do that great handshake. Now they're on their way. And it's just them making sacrifice after sacrifice for each other, which is really, it doesn't feel like it's going overboard with it. It's like the right amount. Like, yeah, these guys are friends now. And, they're making a sacrifice. Like, it's like the Army Men sequence earlier on. You don't leave a good soldier behind. Good soldier never leaves a man behind. And they're not leaving a man behind here. Mm. And again, this is just an action-packed sequence. This third act is one of the best third acts in Pixar history, I think. Mm. That's me because it's my favorite film. But I do genuinely think it holds up to this day. It's just so action-packed. So much is going on. It goes from one plot twist to another. They miss the band. And again, you see, still Buzz, even though Woody's come around, Buzz is still very confident that he's running like Carl Lewis and Woody's just running like a ragdoll. This is a good chase in itself. Just, climbing up the leather strap on the van. It's like, oh no, not again. And the dogs, and then it's Woody has this really brave line that if he was going out, it's a good line to go out and say, "Take care of Andy for me." Which I think is a very moving line because it's Woody saying, you take care of him for me. We care about Andy. Even though if I'm gone, I need you to take care of him for me. That's still an endearing line. Would you agree?
Yeah. I love this next bit coming up. Okay,
He's opening the van. He's opening the van. He's pulling it up, and now it's a red light. Yep. Oh, by the way, something to point out, that little burn mark in Woody's head. Earlier on, he said, "I hope this isn't permanent." It's not permanent, even though it should be. It's not like it can heal. Maybe it just scrapes off. Maybe that's how he gets rid of it. Because in 2 and 3, he doesn't have a little burn mark. Yet some of the toys are manufactured with the burn mark, by the way.
Oh, really?
Some of them work.
He's at it again.
Again, this is a tribute to some great Andrew Stanton writing right here. Is that the comedy in the scene, even though something really serious is going on, is that Woody is trying to help Buzz, yet the toys think he's doing something horrendous to another toy, and they're beating the crap out of Woody. And yet it's reflecting what Buzz is doing. It's just really great writing here. And forgive me if I sound like a broken record saying that, because it's just true.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Again, such an action-packed chase with so much left turns and such, and literally left turn, the spinning around. Everything is happening to Woody's reflected in what's happening now.
Yeah.
Buzz.
There's no reason why the car should just jump.
Yeah,
by the way.
but it's funny. I love RC in this film. RC's cool. He talks like Lassie. He's like, what are you trying to say, RC? They made RC a fun character, and they had to put this in here to show the dog didn't die.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah. I like how you can still see the car trailing off in the background, which is really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's attention to detail, and of course, it never gets old. Potato Head's pieces getting knocked off.
Never gets old.
Toss him overboard. Again, it's just so action-packed. You think, oh no, poor Woody. But then he dodges a moving car, and now Woody. Tom Hanks shouts a lot in this film. He literally said to Bonnie Harlow at one point, "I feel like all I'm doing in this film is screaming. You come home every day with a sore throat." Again, Joe Ranft. This is Joe Ranft as Lenny the Binoculars. Again, Joe Ranft, great man, one of the best storytellers, one of the best storyboard artists in animation history, I gotta mention. Woody was telling the truth. Oh, great, now I have guilt. Great, and Wally Shawn delivers these lines perfectly with the right amount of comedy behind him.
Yeah.
Rocky the Ramp. Now, scale-wise, I love how they play with scale in these. Again, I told you the whole POV of the toy perspective. And how scale the animators can play with scale. This, scale-wise, this is basically a car going 70 miles per hour. Because the remote control cars can go 70 miles per hour.
Yeah.
At least they could. And this truck's basically the size of a building on wheels. Keep that in mind. At least in this film, this remote control car is going about almost 70 miles per hour. Again, I'm just messing around with it's an approximation. That's how the animators would describe it to each other. Like it looks like it's going 70 miles per hour, and the truck's like the size of a building. And this is just very heroic slinky to me.
Okay, we're coming up to your one of your favorite moments because you point out a lot of these out in third acts of Pixar films.
Yes.
You quote it from this. It's the matchstick moment.
Yes, this is a Pixar.
And then the match goes out. So you're like, what?
Yep. Yeah, the match.
How are they going to get out of this one?
Exactly. Pixar, they did this thing because they're expecting all the smart audience members to think, oh, they're going to like the rocket. They're going to like the rocket. So they're about to light the rocket, and the match, the rocket, the thing blows out. So there is no. But then science saves the day. That's
science.
So essentially, folks, the matchstick moment is. I have a whole video about this, but
sorry. I just lit a rocket. Rockets explode.
Oh yeah, you're ahead of me. He's lighting it now for me. He's lighting it, and it's lit now. That's a good computer effect, by the way, just kind of getting the light to map through the helmet. Yeah. Rockets explode! There's the G-force simulator on Woody's face.
Yeah.
There is technically a mistake here. The remote control is missing for the RC car, and I just assume for the sequels Andy has a spare. So yeah.
Oh, there's a slot, or either that or there's a slot on the RC for it.
Yeah. Again, I'm assuming that. I don't know if there's a slot, but anyway, I'm just looking.
Okay, how does answer this question for me? How does he get the rocket off him?
Oh no, it's the wings. The wings break the tape.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is the best. Oh, by the way, this.
Why didn't he do that earlier?
I think that's the most realistic animated shot in the film. Just them looking down on the ground, and this is probably the best part of the movie. Right here, this is just pure. This isn't flying. This is falling, lift style. A line Woody said earlier in the film when Buzz was flying. It just shows how far they've come along. Now Woody is with Buzz saying to infinity and beyond. This is just like pure cinematic optimism. You know, it's just that, again, it's that clean, unspoiled spot that we can all see when we see a movie. It's them, these characters have come full circle. They're so well developed. Now they're in the complete reverse. You know, it's like that whole, there was going to be like a James Bondian action thing. It was going to be in the opening cartoon saying, not today. He just pushes the button. It's so action-packed. You don't know if these guys are going to blow up or not. Pushes the button. The wings come out, and they're flying. Buzz is actually flying. And he's saying to Woody, Buzz is actually flying, and he's saying, Buzz, you're flying. Woody's come full circle and says, no, I'm going off on this. But he says, this isn't flying, this is falling. He heard Woody when he said that. He ignored him. But now he actually heard. It's just that great reveal. To infinity and beyond. It's come full circle. Now we're at Christmas time. The only Christmas setting in all the Pixar films, by the way.
Really?
Yep, this is the only Christmas setting. This is a nice bit with
Mrs. Potato Head, who came into the sequel.
Yep, and the three-headed sheep, by the way. It's one sheep body with 3 heads on it. And now it's Miss Potato Head. Originally, there was this really cute bit that was in the script in which Buzz was singing karaoke. He's going to be standing on a pop-up book with a Christmas tree on it. He was going to be singing, "The weather outside is frightful." Of course, technically, Bo Peep shouldn't have. Yeah, Bo Peep shouldn't have lipstick, so it's still funny. There's seeing Woody covered with kisses. This is great. Again, now Buzz is kind of in position of all the toys, and Woody just kind of being there. Buzz, there's nothing that could be as bad as you. There's nothing that could be as much trouble as you were. What's that? Wow, a puppy! Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That originally just ended with you saw the outside of the house when Andy delivered that line. And, John Morris, by the way, is Andy, who's grown up, and he does reprise his role in all the films. Michael Eisner, the head of Disney at the time, Michael Eisner suggested they pan back into the house, and you see the two of them in the house. So you get like one last glimpse of the two heroes together.
Yeah, so like,
yeah. It's a really cute gag, and it's funny. It's like now, there we go. We're buddies though. It's fun. Really, really funny. It's like they're on equal territory now, and yeah. Now when they play "You've Got a Friend in Me," it kind of reflects. Earlier on it was Woody's relationship with Andy, but now it's kind of his friendship with Buzz. It mirrors that earlier "You've Got a Friend in Me," but now it's "You've Got a Friend in Me" with the two of them being buddies, which is very nice. I think it's a good message.
Yes, it is.
Overall, it's a good buddy film message. You know, it's okay to be jealous, but you don't hate the guy. It's a good message of friendship. You know, you can see how these two guys became friends, and it was, yeah. A few things might be interesting here after the film came out.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, as you can imagine, you've heard some stuff about the marketing for this film.
No.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, so if you can imagine that this film's gonna be big marketing-wise, it's a film about toys.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, at that time when the film was about to be released in 1995, no one wanted to make toys for the film, except Thinkway Toys. So John Lasseter goes to Thinkway Toys, and really there are only 2 original toys to make. Otherwise, it's like redesigning the other ones, but it's re-putting out the older toys. like Mr. Potato Head, just redressing his parts.
Yeah.
So for Buzz and Woody, making Buzz and Woody and Thinkway Toys, it's kind of dicey. They're not sure about making toys for the film, so they decide, okay, we're going to make Buzz and Woody toys, and at first they were 6 inches tall though, and the scale in the film, it's Buzz is 12 feet. Not 12 feet. Sorry, Buzz is 12. Buzz is 12 inches, and Woody is about 14. No, sorry, Woody's 15 inches. Woody's 14 to 15 inches. Buzz is 12 inches. So obviously, John Lasseter goes to these guys. Goes to Albert Chan, the head of Thinkway Toys, and he says, the kids are going to want to play with the size of toy Andy's playing with in the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, then Albert Chan, he made that, but he only ordered like 60,000 Buzz Lightyears. Okay, 60,000 Buzz Lightyears. They sold. It was a mad rush around 1995 to get the Buzz Lightyear toy because it sold out like crazy. It was like worse than when Star Wars came out. You know, it's when they had the empty box campaign for Star Wars.
Yeah, well, that was because they kind of delayed when the stuff was coming out.
Because it was just like it was a hesitation on marketing, and they made just that 60,000 Buzz Lightyears didn't cut it because this film was so popular, and
well, it did massive at the box office.
It did great at the box for that time. It was the highest grossing film of 1995, mind you. It's changed now, the whole ticket prices and everything, but still, that was still a lot of money back then, and still the highest grossing film of that film. Anyway, of that year. So 60,000 Buzz Lightyears. You know how many Buzz Lightyears he was making in in the 2000s? Since that film came out, like late, I'm going to say like 2009. It's probably, I think it's increased by now, but it's like 9 million. So it's like, it's probably over 9 million now, but I'm saying at least at one point it was 9 million Buzz Lightyears. Then Toy Story 3 comes out. That was before Toy Story 3. It was 9 million. So after Toy Story 3 comes out, I'm suspecting a lot more. So they're still making Buzz Lightyears to this day. And just, this is a little fun thing. Then something about the phrase "to infinity and beyond." Obviously, "to infinity and beyond" is a great phrase by Buzz Lightyear. Again, it's inspired by Buck Rogers and the old space thing. Scientifically, I'm pretty sure it doesn't make any sense. You can't go beyond infinity, but it's fun.
Well, no, but you can't, because infinity just goes on forever.
Exactly. But it's kind of like a fun Buck Rogers-y thing to say. You know, it's like it's his catchphrase. It's his like battle cry. Now, there was this occurrence where a father and son got lost at sea, and they're like, they lost the boat, so basically they're trying to like stay afloat and keep in contact with each other, so like they're far away from each other. What helped them stay together and helped them stay afloat treading water for hours was they kept repeating the phrase to each other, "to infinity and beyond," because the kid was a big Toy Story fan. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this film's been so impactful. It really has. And in the best way.
Yes.
It's just... Also, even at by the room, again, reflecting the friendship, the room was now kind of a blend of... The room was a blend of Buzz and Woody. It's kind of the Old West and the Buzz Lightyear show. It was Buzz Lightyear bed sheets, but also Woody drawings and Woody Western stuff on the room. So it was a mixture of both. Just really... Also, it was a little gag. I know it's past, but it was when Woody and Bo Peep were getting in the background, Candyland was there, so it's like sweet for a sweet scene. Yeah. Again, this film has been... one last thing before we get into the final thoughts. One important thing. Now, after this film came out, this is set up for Toy Story 2. After this film came out in 1995, John Lasseter was going through a promotional tour, and he took his family to a promotional tour, going around the world, coming back from Europe. He was at an airport, and there was this kid. There was this little boy who was holding a Woody doll, and he was just like waiting for his father, and he was just waiting to show his father this great thing that he saw, Toy Story. And at that moment, John Lasseter realized these characters belong to the world. And that was set up for Toy Story 2, and just kind of, after this, it was just really a fun, well-made film. It just becomes so much more later on. It becomes it comes from that place of being there for Andy, toys being there to create joy and happiness. And it's become so much more emotionally for everyone. And it's to the point where it's kids saying goodbye to it's parents saying goodbye to their children as they go off to college. It goes to that level later on in the film. This film has had so much resonance. Would you agree?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it is definitely at least for Western culture, it's really like stamped a certain moment in time for a lot of us, because I remember this coming out. I remember playing the video game for it, because yes, this did have a video game for it. And it was actually quite fun. It's one of the best Disney games to play.
Are you talking about the Activision one?
I think so.
Yeah, there's also what I remember.
Rest in peace, Activision, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I remember most from this game-wise from this film? Around the time of Toy Story 2, I got a copy of the old games, in which this plays into Toy Story 2. Actually, it was the guys who would make these CD-ROM games, in which you put them in your computer, and basically it would tell you the whole story, but it would be interactive in that you could you place the toys in the right position, so like it kind of this Rube Goldberg device goes off, so the story continues, and it's computer animated, like the movie. So it's basically you're manipulating the computer animated characters. And the animators of that game were put on the staff of Toy Story 2 in the animation crew. So the games had some resonance, and like when we were doing Pizza Planet just now, Pizza Planet scene, there's also like another game. And remember, again, these are PC games for me, I guess, computer games, really. I don't know if that is PC, right?
No, I was playing them on
No, I'm asking you.
PlayStation.
I'm asking you, is PC computer games?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. So I'm not a huge gamer. So again, it's one of the kids. These are games
unless
like,
it's Deadpool.
Yeah. or Batman.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are games like really tailored towards kids. It's kind of like fun games. And anyway, the other one I had outside of the story CD-ROM game was these little game stations in which you'd be at Pizza Planet, and you'd be like trying to fill slushy cups up with the alien goo that kid was getting.
Yeah.
Like these little alien things that would spit out goo, and there'd be like a slushy. Like all these little fun little games. Again, that animation crew was put on the Toy Story 2 animation. Just a little thing I thought I'd bring up since you're bringing up video games.
Yeah, I was the same.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the game. I remember the Toy Story 2 game. That's a game I'll get into the sequel when we get to it.
Okay. Anyway,
closing thoughts.
I love this movie. It's been a while since I watched it all the way through, but it still holds emotional value for me. And if I'm to give it a rating, it's definitely up there. It's a 4.5 out of 5 because it's still a bit of a kiddies movie for me, but it's hard for me not to give this one a perfect score. By the way, it's very hard.
It better be.
But I refuse to make. I can still find some flaws with the animation a little bit in some areas. But
and in its defense,
for the first computer animated film, and to give it that much, and the story works for it, it deserves the rating I give it.
Yeah. Before I get into my final thoughts, I'm going to since you brought it up, I'm going to address the human animation because I think I forgot to address that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the human animation, they did the smart move in that they chose. It was easier to do a film about toys because computer animation at that time made things look plasticky.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that was another reason to do a film about toys. And you ask any animator, even 2D animators, at least at that time, they're going to say, give me an animal or give me an animal or an inanimate object to draw or animate that's not a human any day. Because humans are extremely hard to take on. At least back then they were, and especially through computer animation, because you're never going to get it right, because people are going to recognize in themselves that this isn't working like an actual human. I'm saying if you don't do it right, people are going to instantly know that, okay, something's wrong with this guy, animation-wise.
Yeah.
And you had that with this one. What they did was they kept humans in the background, kind of like a Peanuts character. It's like the womp 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 womp. For that, yeah. They did this thing where you didn't see the heads of the humans, and when you did, it was very briefly, and only very, very seldomly would you see the human. Even with that, there's like the software gets better over time. Like at this point, you can tell in the animation, like the blinking's like they can only blink one at a time. It's like left, right, instead of like at the same time at times.
Yeah.
Especially for Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, it's human animation. They used it sparingly on purpose because they knew it wasn't a strength, so it doesn't really bother me for this. But later on, the human animation gets better as time progresses. So yay for them. But yeah, my final thoughts. Sorry, I'm going on, Magpie. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah, don't worry. This one's only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, but again, it's a short film too. It's 90 minutes, so good pace too. It just feels like it's been.
It's actually only 70-something minutes.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it's 90 minutes, but I don't know. Either way. Yeah, it has a really good pacing to it. Overall, this film, again, I have such nostalgic ties to this film. It's my favorite Pixar film, regardless. Even if Pixar, they do amazing films in the future, which they will do, I'm still going to like this as my favorite Pixar film because I have these nostalgic ties to it. It's such a good story. It was the Snow White of its time. It was such an ambitious project. Whenever I tell my favorite making of stories, it's always Superman, the Richard Donner Superman, and this. The making of behind this is interesting as the story that's on the screen. I love everything about this film. The characters are likable and fun, and it's good for kids and adults to get into. The first computer animated film of all time, but it's not really a big deal as computer animated because the story's so good. Again, that illogical logic really sells it for the comedy and the smartness of the writing. And it holds up to this day because it's that good. It's had such an impact. We wouldn't have the films today without it. DreamWorks wouldn't exist.
DreamWorks Animation.
Yeah, animation. DreamWorks Animation wouldn't exist. Blue Sky, literally Chris Wedge, one of the head guys of Blue Sky, he was inspired by this film. Again, there was this joyous jealousy. A joyous jealousy emerged from this film I mentioned earlier on. Because everyone was like so jealous they weren't part of this film. They strived to make films that are as good as this film. Just tells you how impactful this film was to the whole medium, the whole essence of storytelling. And I disagree with anyone who says, well, this film ruined all of 2D animation. It basically kicked 2D animation out the door. It did not. Storytelling in this film outweighs the animation, but the animation just makes it look interesting also. Really, really good stuff. I love this film so much. More than Toy Story 3, again, nostalgia, but still the story. It's a buddy film. There's no villain in this film. Technically Sid, but I mean, even Sid, you can look. It depends how you look at it. The bad guy, he gets his comeuppance without dying. No one dies in this film. It's like, it's lighthearted goodness. It's a boys' movie. I'll give you that. It's a boys' movie. It's a film they made to entertain themselves. It entertains us. It entertains adults. It has such nostalgia to it. You love the toys. It reminds you when you grew up with your toys. Like I still play with toys. It's still either you collect them or you play them, display them. It's a really neat look. And this film's probably the reason for that. But still, this film's just really, really great. Great voice cast, ensemble voice cast. Just resonance behind the line readings. The creator is so great. I idolize John Lasseter, the man, the myth, the legend. I love this film. This cemented my love for Pixar in birth, from birth to childhood to now. It's been that impactful on me. I'm done my little rant here, but let me get to the rating. I think it's obvious what I'm going to rate this Magpie. I would trade in my other ratings just to rate this one a 5 out of 5. It is that good. I give this a 5. I give this a 10 out of 10 despite the 5 out of 5 rule. It's a 5 out of 5. It's 5 Luxo lamps out of 5.
Okay. I think I should make the announcement now, seeing as we've done a Pixar film. Eventually, if it's not the next one, we're going to be doing a DreamWorks animation film down the road. One of your favorites, if not your favorite.
It's my favorite.
DreamWorks animation film, Megamind.
Oh, yeah.
So, stay tuned for that, guys. That's going to be really, really good. I haven't watched it yet, so I'll have to at least watch it once before I before I go on here to commentate it. So stay tuned for that. So we'll be back with another one of these. I assume so. And I hope everyone's still enjoying the Q&A month that I've been doing. Like I've said, all those are in the can. I just got to edit them together.
Also, keep an eye on the Superhero Enthusiast channel. Also, there's some good stuff coming to that eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We did a mega chat with him yesterday, and it's already up.
It is.
So. He even left a comment on that video for us to say, that got up quick.
Yep.
Didn't realize that. Oh, okay. All I need to do is slap some pictures together and put it through.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll be back with another one of these. I'm not sure what we're doing. No, we're not sure what we're doing next. But,
yeah.